Hi guys, and welcome back to Chengi's World. Guys, it's so good to have you with me again. So today we are talking about, do I have to change to find love? Do I have to change? And what do I have to change in order to find love? So if you want to learn more, keep tuned and make sure you subscribe, like and comment, and join me on Instagram and Facebook, and we can have more of this conversation and just do a little bit of chit chat because I've got some fun stuff to be doing on that channel. So what is the answer to this question? Do I need to change? I've heard a lot of sort of versions of this. I've heard you don't have to change yourself. You can just let it. He needs to love you just the way you are, and you just somebody will love you just the way that you are, and whatever. Now, I remember watching Hitch the other day with my son because I'm introducing him to Mummy's old movies, and he's really like feeling it. I'm like, let's watch Hitch, right? And this guy's wearing these shoes, and he's like, I don't really feel comfortable in these shoes. They're not quite me. And so Hitch says to him, look, you right now is a very flexible concept. You look good in those shoes. You are gonna whatever in those shoes. Those shoes are you, okay? And I thought, yeah, isn't that the truth? When it comes to love, do we have to change? Can we just stay the same and meet somebody? Now the question, the answer to that question, as far as I am concerned, is that change is growth. Do you have to grow to meet somebody? No, I believe that it depends on what it is that you want out of life. I was listening to my pastor preaching, and he was saying to the men in church, don't settle for some girl that you don't really fancy, but go for the best girl, go for the girl that you really, really want, and girls don't just go for some mediocre guy, go for a guy that's really amazing, that dresses well, that doesn't embarrass you. And he was sort of going through this list, and I was sort of laughing inside because I wouldn't laugh at him because he wasn't wrong, he was right. He was trying to teach everybody to go for what is their heart's desire. But he just left out a small part in his messages, perhaps assuming that he had already communicated it. He left out the message that in order for you to get what you want, you've got to become what you want. You can't expect to meet a guy who is just so like fit, his life is together, and you're just going to bring your undeveloping, no ambition, never go to the gym type of person. Now, the beauty of life is that it's not real sort of science to it. I have met a lot of guys who are fit, go to the gym, and they just like their overweight women, and they love their big girls, and it's all good. But I believe that you can't expect the best to come to you if you're not the best version of yourself. And I'm not talking about the externals. Now, if you want to know more about Do Looks Matter, then you need to go and watch my video, Do Looks Matter, because I discuss the external part of how we look in relationships, and I talk about that quite a bit, and I don't want to sort of repeat myself in this video, because what I'm really talking about is inner changes. We all should be migrating towards a self-development process. And I have found this to be true, that like attracts like. In terms of who you are, you cannot expect to be underdeveloped. I have rejected guys before, and they have thought it's about their physicality, when in fact it's because just a minute in their presence and they do not have substance. They do not have substance. The spirit is vacant to me. You cannot be my man if you don't think a certain kind of way. If you don't have depth, you cannot be my man. I am so attracted to thinkers. I am so attracted to men with depth. I'm attracted to men's minds. And yes, I love a guy who can joke around, play around, and have a good time. But I also am very kind of, I'm a reflector, and I look at life very seriously. So for me, I am on a personal development journey. I am a reader. I am a self-developer. I am always looking to develop myself and grow. So you can't just come with your underdeveloped self and decide that you can just be with me. So if you want to be with me, then you have to take on a personal development journey. You have to take on the desire to explore life at deeper levels, to be more of a person than just show me muscle, because it just doesn't work that way for me. Okay, so do we have to change? Yes, you have to grow every single day, because anything that is not growing, is dying. Anything that is not growing is dying. When a flower comes to full bloom, the next stage is for it to die and become what was. So if you are adverse to change, exploring new things, and having a broader experience of life, then the truth of the matter is you will get what you've always gotten. There's these principles that I've learned in my life, and I'm sure you've heard before, for those of you who are constantly on a personal development journey. And that is, if you keep doing what you are doing, you're going to get what you keep getting. And if you want something different, then do something different. So if you are fed up of the guys that you are meeting, if you are fed up of the types that you're meeting, you need to check your personal growth and development. Are you stuck? I was talking to one of you guys on Facebook, and you were saying to me, look, I am meeting guys that are so much older than me, so much older. This lady's 40 and she's meeting men who are 60 plus, who are just so into her, and she's like, for goodness sakes, I'm 40, right? And I knew that instinctively she had stopped growing, she had stopped developing, and her energy had become stale and old. You see, when you stop growing, it doesn't matter at what age you stop growing. If you stop growing at 25, if you stop growing at 30, if you stop growing at 40, you begin the death process, which is the aging process. And then you can see what's going on with your development by the people that you're attracting. If you are not growing, challenging yourself to do things you've never done before, if you're one of these women that's like, I'm too old for technology, I'm too old for this, I'm too old for that, as long as you refuse to grow, find a new challenge, find something new to do with your life, as long as you refuse, as long as you stay stuck in a routine, baby girl, you are gonna grow old. A lot of the young people that I know who are young at heart, who are 50 but young at heart, they're prepared to do Snapchat, they're prepared to do Instagram, they're prepared to move and roll with the young people, they're prepared to learn something new, be a bit out of place, be a bit uncomfortable, because it is the mind and the energy of newness and change and growth and allowing yourself to change. Okay, this is the way we did things when I was younger. It's not the way it's done now. How is it done now? Okay, let me learn how it's done and how can I bring the wisdom of what I have into the newness and then complement and become a bigger, better version. It's not about competing with the young. It's not about trying to keep up with the young. It's about allowing yourself to deliberately enter a journey. And when I said to her, look, check your life. What has changed? What are you doing that's new and fresh and exciting in your life? It's just like, oh, actually, I think I just get bogged down with my girls and I just end up just staying the same. And I knew that was the case. So I said, look, in the time that I've known you, you've had the same profile picture almost for a whole year. You haven't changed it, which means you're not doing anything with your life. You're still stuck. You're still stuck in a place mentally and emotionally. And when you're stuck and you're not growing, you're starting to die. So your frequency and your energy is calling for the older guys. I know a lot of women who just attract younger men. I attract younger men so much. I think the youngest guy that was trying to convince me to go out with him was 23, right? It's crazy. Sometimes I even had a little schoolboy once. I think I was wearing a sort of suit, and he said to me, "Excuse me, what school do you go to?" I was like, "Honey, in that kind of party." But I know why I attract younger men, because my energy, whilst I'm an old soul in terms of some of the wisdom and life experiences that I've had, have made me feel sometimes like I'm an old soul. I keep growing, I keep learning, I keep adjusting, I love to understand. I've got a curiosity. I'm curious. I want to know what that works out. I want to see what that's like. I want to try this, and curiosity has kept me with an energy that is so vibrant that really, really, really young guys think they can be with me, even though I don't behave like a child. I don't behave like a 20-something-year-old, but my energy is calling. So if you want to attract somebody really mobile and moving and exciting and interesting into your life, just keep growing. So do you have to change? Yes, you have to change. You have to perpetually be in a process of growth, because change and growth are one in the same thing. Change is just unwelcome, but growth is the welcome bit. So do you have to change? Absolutely, we have to change. And maybe you might even have to change your external world if you want to attract somebody of a certain kind of look about them. You might have to change your external world, and if you can't change your external world, then you have to learn the skills to trigger attraction in somebody that would ordinarily be interested in you, because triggering attraction has nothing to do with the way that you look. So that is something that you guys can watch on my other videos. So I hope this helps, and that you guys will be changing and growing and expanding and being more and doing more and pursuing your desires, pursuing your dreams, and not sitting there waiting for some guy to come. Continue to grow, and you'll be amazed at sort of men that you can attract and the people that you can attract into your life. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. See you on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Chengi's World. Bye bye now.